In this video, we're going to be looking at Objective-C if-else-if statement. I mean, it might sound a little bit mouthful, but you'll see how we use it in a good example now. In the previous if statement and if-else statement, we have used just one criteria, our Boolean expressions, to decide which codes get executed. But sometimes you need more than one criteria. For example, you want to check which day of the week it is in order to display the appropriate greetings to your customers. So you want to say if the day equals to Monday, remember the double equality sign, then you want to say it is Monday, beautiful start to the week. Else if, this is the keyword here. So if, else if, else if, else if. If else if the day equals to Tuesday, it is Tuesday, have a nice day. Otherwise, if it's Wednesday, you want to say if else if the day equals to Wednesday, it is Wednesday, come inside for a special Wednesday discount. So you want to show different message depending on the day of the week. So that means at the top there must be a program that check which day of the week that we are. So if the day is Thursday, for example, you will the program will skip all this message and jump to the message that is related to the day of the week. So you get the idea. Depending on the day of the week, different messages will be displayed. This works quite well if you have minimal comparison to do, but there is a better way which we'll look at in the next video. So the reason why I said that is because if you look at this code, you can see that we have 7 days in a week, so it's actually quite easy to write 7 lines of code. So if it's Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, what if we're checking for like 1,000 way to compare? That's a lot, but there is a way that you can use to compare, and it's even a neater way to compare when you have so many variables to compare. So anyway, let's look at an example so that you can understand how this works. So here we can see that this code might not be the perfect code but at least it works well. What I've done here is actually I've taught you a new way to ask for user to enter an input. So up to now you have been printing something onto the console, but you can actually ask the user to enter something into the console. So right here I ask the user to enter a number between 1 and 20, and I declare an integer x to store that variable that the user is going to enter. So I ask them to enter a number between 1 and 20. So when they type, say for example 5, I'll store that value in x. So this is the way you obtain an input from the keyboard. You use scanf, and then remember we use %i to represent an integer in a quotes, then you use ampersand, then the name of the variable. So don't worry about all this thing to do with pointer, just use it as it is. So after the user has entered the number, then I check if x is less than 5. If the number the user has entered is less than 5, then I will print out the statement that x is less than 5. Else if x is greater than 5, and remember the comparison operator here, this one, the Boolean comparison, anyway, the logical operator. So what happened is with the and, I'm checking to see if x is greater or equals to 5, and at the same time is less than 10. So I want to check if the number the user is greater or equals to 5 or is less than 10, and I'll say x is between 5 and 10. And if x is greater or equals to 10 and x is less than 15, I'm checking to see if it's between 10 and 15. I'll say x is between. That's why I said you have to look at this code very carefully, because you could be catching, there could be a lot of errors happening, but I haven't done a lot of error checking. You may not understand what that means because there's overlap between this 10 and 10 here. So don't worry about when we're going to be doing how to test your program, we're going to be talking more about that, but this is just a quick code. I didn't bother to look at if there's any errors, but I think it's quite cool. And finally, so you use if, then else if, then else if. Once you want to catch the remaining error, you just use the final else without using elsif. So you have to finish it with an else. So this will catch the rest, and I say x is between 15 and 20, but I could be wrong. If the person has entered 30 or 40 or -5, this final one will catch it. So Do you use the final else to catch anything else that you haven't thought about? So let's run the program and I'll show you what I mean. So if I enter 5, it's telling me that x between 5 and 10, which is cool. Oh yeah, actually let me show you. Let me actually show you. If I enter 6, it said x is between 5 and 10, right? So if I enter 2 or 3, it's going to say let me stop it. If I enter 3, it says x is less than 5, which is fine. So enter a number between, let's enter 12. It said x is between 10 and 15, which is fine. So let's enter 18, and let's enter 18, and we have x is between 15 and 20. So now let's try and enter something that's completely different. Let's enter minus 15. We still get the last message. Minus 15. It said x is less than 5, which is cool. But if let's enter 25, it said x is between 15 and 20. As you can see, this last one is wrong. We entered 25 and it said x is between, because I didn't catch the other errors. So this is how you use the else if statement. So I hope you understand how it works, and you can start implementing it in your program. See you.